Broadcasting live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Here's your host, Andrew Romanella.
Okay? Like, just get the hell out of here. Nobody cares what you think if you're not a Mets fan.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of The Rome Show, broadcasting live on youtube.com/The Romanellas, Twitter, X, Instagram, and Facebook, The Rome Show 1. I'm your host, Andrew Romanella. We got you for the next 30 minutes and change, and we have every sport on the docket today. We've got some hirings in Major League Baseball. Almost every National Basketball Association team has tipped off at this point. We should be joined today by Rocky Romanella for a little hockey with Rocky. And then we finish our day off with a little Thursday night football preview. Tonight, we have the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Los Angeles, San Diego to take on the Chargers. Before we do any of that, we need to tell you, you got to go to youtube.com/The Romanellas. That's youtube.com/The Romanellas, or Twitter, X, and Instagram. The Rome Show 1, that's The Rome Show. Then the number 1, the OG, Facebook, The Rome Show podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Just remember, if you're following on YouTube or Instagram or X, you can comment live on the show. Yesterday, the San Francisco Giants made a splash hire at the managerial position by hiring Tony Vitello, the longtime head coach for Tennessee baseball. Vitello becomes the first person to go from managing at the college level to directly managing at the major league level with zero professional experience underneath his belt. Vitello comes to San Francisco after the Giants have gone 8 of the last 9 seasons, finishing 3rd or worse in the NL West, with one stint as the NL West champion in 2021. So it has been a decade of bad baseball for the San Francisco Giants, and they are really hoping that this will be a big change for the organization. Buster Posey, director of baseball operations, making this decision for the San Francisco Giants. During his time in Tennessee, Vitello took the Vols to a record of 341 and 131, 3 College World Series appearances, and 1 championship in 2024. This comes on the heels of the Los Angeles Angels also hiring a new manager, also with 0 managerial experience. Their hire did not come from the college ranks. However, their hire came from inside their own doors. Longtime major league catcher Kurt Suzuki has been hired as the manager's new skipper after 3 years as a special assistant to the general manager. Interesting on the Kurt Suzuki side of things. Suzuki signed a 1-year deal with the Angels for this managerial opportunity. When you look at the contract situation for the Angels, their general manager is also only on a 1-year deal. And this is who Kurt Suzuki has been working directly with the last 3 years as a special assistant. So when you read the comments on both, which we'll get to in a second, one general manager in Los Angeles is like, listen, man, this guy and I are tied at the hip. If 162 games from now, I am no longer the general manager of the Los Angeles Angels, Kurt Suzuki is most likely not the manager of the Angels as well. But on the flip side, if we can end this 10 10-year postseason drought, 10-year under 500 drought that has gone on for the Los Angeles Angels. They have not had a winning season since before 2015. I mean, think about that. Okay. So the general manager of the front office of the Los Angeles Angels is essentially saying, hey, we're not 100% sold on what next year looks like. So let's figure out a 1-year situation, see if we like it. And if not, we're blowing this entire thing up. Because has it really worked anyways? That's also Kurt Suzuki, that is, the 6th managerial hire in the last 8 seasons for the Los Angeles Angels. So they are reeling to find some consistency. Some comments from both of the new managers. First, from Tony Vitello. I'm incredibly honored and grateful for this opportunity, Vitello said in a statement. I'm excited to lead this group of players and represent the San Francisco Giants. I can't wait to get started and work to establish a culture that makes the Giants faithful proud. I think what Tony Vitello brings to the table, if you're a Giants fan out there, is energy, is excitement. Now, if you've listened to any of the Leadership Library podcasts, head to Leadership Library podcast, wherever you get your podcast. The OG Rocky Romanella has been talking a lot about that, about the energy, about the enthusiasm, about the way you show up. And that is a lot of being a successful team. No, Tony Vitello can't just show up into the Giants locker room with a guy like Rafael Devers and start doing all this pump up rah-rah BS. That's not going to work. There is a level of difference from the D1 college game, though in the SEC, it's essentially like they're professionals and professional baseball. There's a difference to what you can do over the course of a 60, 65 game season in college baseball than what you can do over the course of 162 in Major League Baseball. The way you handle a star player in college baseball significantly different than the way you handle a star player in Major League Baseball. So I think the plus here for this Giants organization is a revitalized energy into their clubhouse, is an excited energy into their clubhouse, is an energy of a guy that's going to show up every day to be the most locked in person, is going to show up every day prepared to do whatever he needs to do to make this thing work. That's what he's done for 9 years. And I know building a professional franchise and building a college franchise are not the same. When Vitello took over at Tennessee in 2017, they weren't good. Over the last 10 years, he's built them into a program that is worthy of being believed to be one of the best in the nation. But that's not where they were when he took over at Tennessee. And so Vitello knows how to build an organization. But the difference there is he had control of the recruits. He was the owner and the general manager and the player personnel guy and the director of baseball operations and the head coach. That's what he was at the college level. Now he is not that. Now, if he doesn't like a guy, he might still have to play him. Or he can't get rid of him off his roster. Or he can't recruit past him. That, I think, is going to be the gap that will make the difference. Is he a good baseball coach? Absolutely. Can he lead people? Absolutely. I would even go as far as saying he could probably coach professionals because he's preparing these guys to be drafted by professionals at a high rate. And 2 first-round draft picks in the last 2 years. But can he handle the grind of a 162-game season? Can he manage the professional player ego? Will he be able to, when all of those adversities hit, will he be able to handle those things. And what a difference that is. What a difference those situations are. The situation of this dude not going to class or not doing well in school compared it to the issue of a grown man with 3 kids not wanting to play first base. Those are 2 different scenarios and 2 significantly different ways to handle it. On the flip side, down the interstate, I should say, Kurt Suzuki had this to say about being hired by the Los Angeles Angels. I feel like I was born to do this, to lead players, to help players get better, Suzuki said. That's my personality. I feel like I've done it on a yearly basis with 29, 30 pitchers throughout a whole season, trying to understand how to get the best out of each player, and that's what excites me. Obviously, you play this game to win also, but what excites me is being able to help kids reach their potential. Kurt Suzuki made a joke about how his entire playing career, 16 years worth, he was playing on 1-year contracts, it felt like, and having to prove himself every year. This is 2 managers in Major League Baseball hired in 24 hours with 0 Major League Baseball managing experience. I would almost go as far as saying 0 professional baseball managing experience. And I love it. Okay? You don't often see the college to pro shift in baseball. You really do see it sometimes in basketball. You definitely see it in football. Football swings the most, I think, out of any sport. But in baseball, you don't normally see it. You don't normally see baseball managers getting hired that haven't had any experience at the major league level. That's not something that you normally see. And in one cycle, we see 2 of them. And I kind of dig it because I've always believed this. I don't need you to have managed at AA and AAA and single A and spent 14 years in the system for you to be able to be the right manager to help a team win. Look at Aaron Boone. I'm not saying he's a terrible manager, but Aaron Boone's got all this postseason history with the Yankees, a career playing in baseball, a brother and a dad who had a career playing in baseball, right? And everybody in New York wants to fire that guy every day and twice on Sunday. So just because they had the playing career doesn't mean it automatically equates to being a great coach. And on the flip side, it could be just as bad as we think it is with Tony Vitello and Kurt Suzuki because they have 0 managerial experience underneath their belt. But I don't think a reason to not hire someone is because they don't have quote unquote experience at that level. Kurt Suzuki was a catcher. That's essentially managing a game every time you're behind the dish. And Tony Vitello has been managing a ball club for over 20 years, whether he was the head coach all the time at Tennessee or his time as an assistant leading his group or a high-level program. At the end of the day, you got to take risks sometimes to make change. All right? And maybe that's exactly what both these California teams need. I'd say maybe the New York Jets need to take a play out of the Giants and the Angels playbook because I think this is a very progressive thing to do. And I think it's a great move when you're not for a decade, you're doing the same thing, hiring the same retread managers, hiring the same people that have had a chance and aren't that good. Try something new. And if it doesn't work, you still aren't making the playoffs like you hadn't in the last 10 seasons. The Rome Show, broadcasting live on YouTube, Twitter X, Instagram, and Facebook. We are going to run you through the National Basketball Association really quickly, because it's game 1 of 82. Okay, but it tipped off last night or 2 nights ago, and we want to give you some of the updates, and then we take a commercial break and are joined by the one and the only Rocky Romanella. Let's get into it, people. All right, here we go. So we had 2 games tip off the other night in the National Basketball Association, and we had 12 last night. So nearly every team in the league has played. Here are some updates for you. Shea Gildress Alexander. He won it in double overtime against the Houston Rockets, and the former build your organization around him, Kevin Durant. He put Durant a little bit of skates, not a lot, forced the foul, 2 free throws to win it. Around the league, though, the Knicks, they won their first game last night, 119-111. That could be an Eastern Conference Finals matchup in a few months. The Celtics and the 76ers played a tight one, 117-116, 12-point 42-30, in the fourth quarter. More outscored there you go, Celtics by 12 points. The 76ers did. Tyrese Maxey, 40 points, 6 assists. We saw some new faces in new places, but we also saw some returns, and that was Victor Wembanyama coming off an injury. 40 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks. The Spurs, they slaughter the Mavericks in Cooper Flagg's first pro game. Not great for Cooper Flagg, 125-92. Anthony Edwards also had 41 last night and 7 rebounds. The Timberwolves win by 4. DeMar DeRozan, 29, 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Those were your top performers. Oh, Zion Williamson back on the floor. The Pelicans lost, but he scored 27, had 9 rebounds and 5 steals. Some of your top performers in the NBA. And a friendly reminder that we are back in action on the hardwood, and it is wide open this year. There's no team that you look at and say, man, this team's way better than everybody else. There's no super team this. There's no, wow, they're so much better than that. And that could change. It always could. But way it looks right now in the NBA, this feels like some of the most parity you've had in a really long time. We're not going to take a really long time on this commercial break, so we can come back with Rocky Romanella and hockey with Rocky.
You have 10 minutes from Giants Stadium. Yeah, and you're an effing Cowboys fan.
Stay tuned. We're back after this.
Are you thinking Tostitos Fiesta Bowl?
It's the Rome Show!
What is one thing every great leader has in common? They challenge their people to not stop at the first right answer. Titan Malugnuts is a leadership book that will teach you how to move past the first right answer with entertaining and detailed examples founded in real-world concepts and experiences. Accelerate towards your professional goals with Titan Malugnuts, one of the best leadership books available.
Yeah. Welcome back in. We go right into it here. We don't waste time. Now, inside the glass, hockey with Rocky.
What's going on, everybody? Get ready to light the lamp. We're inside the glass.
Did you like that
How we
timing?
Yeah, that was good. That was money.
Yeah. What's going on? How we feeling today?
Listen, we feel great. When you have a text message chain that leads to a perfect opening just like that one, I don't know how you're not feeling great in the world.
I feel fantastic about it. And I was super nervous about that because for a quick second there, I forgot where the goal horn was on the little color thing. So I'm like, this could be Rocky talking about MetLife Stadium, or this could be the goal horn. I'm not sure. All right, Rock, let's get right into the National Hockey League, because I think
do it.
Avid Romo Sapiens of this show understand that if you're not here, they're probably not going to get as much hockey as they really want. So I thought we could do a few things today. You could just give us your updates. I have to ask you about the Rangers because so many people have been like, when you get your brother on next, we have to hear his thoughts on whether or not the Rangers are going to score a goal at MSG. And then I thought a fun quick, rock solid, rock soft to get the people back into the flow.
Ooh,
Right?
let's go. All right. I'll give you my NHL updates. You can ask me about the Rangers, and then we'll go to the soft and hearts.
Fantastic.
All right, good deal. So I came prepared with two teams I wanted people to pay attention to.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my soft teams. Like, dude, love what I'm seeing from the Canadians. A lot of people are impressed with the Wings. We talked about the Wings last week, but the Blackhawks as well. Um, Eyes on the Pittsburgh Penguins. Young coach Dan Muse, old veteran core, young talent, right? Interesting start. 5-2, 10 points, find themselves in the mix. Gotta love it. Right, Colorado off to a strong start, which we all knew. Vegas off to a strong start, no surprise there. Cup favorite again. But the two teams I have for you are the Utah Willie Mammoths
Dude.
and the New Jersey Hockey Devils of New Jersey.
That's right,
And-
dude. That's right. What do you got on both?
So I caught the Willie Mammoth, which, by the way, like, I'm happy that I figured out a way to make Willie Mammoth cool, but I would have much rather the Utah Yetis.
Yeah, the Yetis or the Utah Hockey Club, to be completely
Dude,
honest with you.
HC Utah. I mean, just a strong place in my heart. DCFC, same with the Skins. Like,
They missed to drop the ball here.
there's such a great opportunity for a lot of fun. Either way, the Willie Mammoths are off to a great start. Dylan Gunther had a huge OT winner against the Colorado. So I caught the first period of the late night game the other night, and nothing more than just it's exciting to see in year two when 3 years ago as the Phoenix Coyotes, they were just god awful. And relatively same coaching staff. Clayton Keller still the captain, who, by the way, is second on the team in points. Nick Smaltz off to a good start. Really strong group of players in Utah. Exciting to see how long they can kind of make it last before they might level off to where they truly are. But it's a big start from the Yetis, and someone to pay attention to as you get into your hockey mix this season.
You know, it's funny that you mentioned that. First off, I'm sure you could guess that on a rock solid, rock soft day one, somehow that's going to show up, but we'll leave that for later.
Love.
The second part of it is, you know who I thought about a lot so far in the beginning of the season? Shane Doan. Because
Shane Doan, there you go.
He spent so much time in Phoenix. And don't you think he would truly enjoy one season on this iteration of what was the Phoenix Coyotes? Because, I mean, you're so right. For like 20 years, they were the worst team in the league. Like, it was almost like a joke worst team in the league for 18 of those 20 years, it felt like. And then all of a sudden, you change your colors, you introduce an elephant as your logo, and now all of a sudden, is it that easy, Rock? Easy is the wrong word. Is it something that simple, though, that could really change things? Like, should the Jets, I made this joke yesterday, should they be the New Jersey Jets? Like, is that actually something?
Dude, tusks up. And yes, it is something, because you got to think about yourself. Like, you walk into work every day and like the environment is, hey, by the way, this company might not be here tomorrow, right? Tough for me to put my best foot forward when I'm worried about like my livelihood, right? Like, you got to remember, like, where's my family going to live? Like, where are my kids going to go to school? Like, I've never been to Utah. Like,
yeah.
You know, like, when I think Utah, I think like skiing and like, maybe the Olympics.
Yeah.
Like that's about
Mormons,
it. Like, I don't
sorry.
like, dude, well, yeah, the Utah, like the Oregon Trail, like I passed through you, like I don't know, but to work, and I've got like an entire city rallied behind me. I've got an ownership group that wants to give me the best possible experience. Yeah, when I show up, I'm going to put together my best foot. So I just think it's more about that so yeah, the environment matters.
I think that we're going to start a voting here on the Rome Show to what we should change the New York Jets. And I have this vision, Rocky, okay? You take the Jets and you make their NJY much like, NJY or NJJ, right? New York Jets, Mike, like the NJJ on the New Jersey Devils. You make them black and red, and now you have two teams from the state of New Jersey. They mirror each other's colors, and what a difference the Jets organization would feel like. I mean that honestly.
I think you've got to go. I think you have to go the Angels route and be the New York Jets of New Jersey.
Oh my
Like the
god.
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Well, let
I
me
think the New
rebuke.
York Jets of New Jersey. I think that's how you got to do it.
Well, let me rebuke that real quick, or rebuttal, or whatever freaking word I'm trying to use here this early in the morning. Haven't made the playoffs in 10 straight years, the Angels.
Tough.
So
Yeah,
I don't
tough.
know if that's the move
Yeah.
either. And
Yeah.
based on what the
Best
Chargers did, I
player in
don't
baseball can't make the playoffs.
can't make the playoffs. And by the way, what is it about California? You got the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, when really they should just be the Anaheim Angels. You got the Los Angeles Chargers. They really should just be the San Diego Chargers. Like, what are we doing out here?
Well, they play in LA now.
Right. Yeah, I know. But it's just like, what are we doing? Come on.
A lot of
Like,
LA teams.
a lot of LA
teams.
and yet
Greater
the
LA is
Dodgers,
big.
doesn't matter because the Dodgers are still just going to be the Dodgers.
Let's shift over to your hometown team, the Newark Devils. And Jesper Bratt leading the way with 11 points. I think my favorite part about the Devils, and I'll be honest, I haven't seen them play much, but I have been paying attention because I have to.
Yep.
Love seeing the youth core really come into its own.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Love the captain, like Nico Hischier. I think he's in almost year 10. Right. Captain of
Close.
the Devils. Right. Really the guy that ushered in the youthful movement. You've got a prime time player in Jack Hughes, and he's off to a great start. I was talking to a Devils fan last night. Excited about the goaltending and Jake Allen, like, and not too worried about Markstrom, right?
Yep.
Which is a great sign. Jake Allen's a former starter in the NHL, so it's not like you were in a bad spot. I think the thing we talked about, I mean, listen, you have a stud defenseman in Brett Pesce and a stud defenseman in Dougie Hamilton. The thing I talked about with the Devils fan, I'd love to hear your take, is there a true force on D or on offense that actually scares an opponent? As the season gets deeper and as the game gets grittier and tougher, are the Devils a powerful force from a physical standpoint? And is that going to get in the way at some point?
It's funny that you say that because I was talking to somebody on my side of the realm about hockey the other day, and they were like, are you excited about the Devils? We're going to the game tomorrow night for my birthday, and they're playing the Sharks, and based on the way the Sharks are playing, you'd hope you're watching the Devils victory. But we kind of got into the conversation of like how drastically different the Devils today are than when I grew up watching the Devils. Like when you grew up, when I was 12, 13, 14, and they were winning the cups and they were really good, they were gritty. They were hard-nosed. They were defensive-minded. They did not care. Only defense. They didn't care about offense almost. It was like, I actually made the joke the other day in my men's league. I was like skating backwards on a 4-on-4, and I was like, I'm playing like the Devils in 98 right now. And whereas now, it's like, I think why they had a few down years, or 10 really, is because they were caught in between. Who are we? Are we trying to get all these really fast guys and play with the NHL today that scores 4 or 5 goals a game? And it's like the Oilers don't really care about goaltending, but we want the best talent. And then you start to draft backwards. You start to get Dougie Hamilton. You start to worry about the goaltending. What are we going to be? So what I have decided, to answer your question, is they are an offense of a bunch of second liners. Like, they don't have a true first line. These are the most talented dudes. Let's put these 3 out here on a power play. I don't want to deal with those 3 together. But at the same time, they don't have a bunch of fourth liners either. It's like the most consistent group of offensive players that, if your goaltending and your defense don't really somehow cream to the crop at the top, I feel like you don't have enough firepower. Though they're fun to watch, I just feel like, to answer your question, yeah, they are 1 or 2 guys that are like guys away, not just like really solid players away.
Yeah, definitely. And listen, Sheldon Keefe has a history with the highest scoring teams in the regular season. When he was behind the bench for the Maple Leafs, right? They led the league in scoring. I think you're going to see that same fate for the Devils. It'll be interesting to see their position at the deadline and what they really believe they can accomplish in the playoffs. Because if they're sitting 1 and 2 with the Carolinas and the Caps of the world, and that Atlantic side is, I mean, you have no idea who's going to come out of the Atlantic right now.
Oh, yeah.
It'll probably end up being Florida and Tampa Bay, but like,
right.
You got to keep your eyes on the Canadians. And I mean, I don't know if Ottawa's going to figure it out, but there's, you got Detroit playing well. So you might have a good pathway to the Eastern Conference final, and which means you're going to have to go get some veteran presence either on the offense or on defense, probably one of each. So excited
I'm,
about the Devils.
I'm looking at the stats on it right now, just to kind of break down a little bit more. In 7 games, this team scored 73 goals, Rocky. Okay. So like that's a good number through
It's definitely
7.
good.
Or excuse me, I read that. Wow, went backwards there. 28 goals in 7 games, 73 points. Those are good numbers. Okay. There are 16 different scorers on that stat sheet. 16. So like that's a lot of move the puck around. That's a lot of people touching the puck. So I think that's a good thing though, right? Like I feel like it's when we talk about like, do you to flip back the question back to you, do you want the Devils or any team to have like an elite star and okayness, or is it
They have
better
an
to
elite
feel
star.
like
They have an elite star.
it's true?
Jack Hughes.
Yeah. Would you say he's a top 5 player in the league?
No,
Top
but he's
10.
also only been in the league for 4 years.
That's true. He could be. He could become that. I agree with you. 100%.
And by the way, his season this year will keep him in the conversation.
That's fair.
Because he was in the conversation. 4 Nations, then his injury hurt him because of his size.
I think that also recency bias of forgetting that him not playing a lot either hurts.
I mean,
too.
he missed the end of last season.
Yeah.
Now he's going to go get his rep back up. And I think, listen, he is a star.
So you believe? Go ahead.
I mean, his brother might be a bigger star.
Right.
Quinn Hughes.
Right. 100%. I agree with that. It's just like, it's funny, man, with this team. I'm excited. I'm so excited, but I think
Got to be excited about the Devs.
You have to be. You cannot be. But I think my Mets fandom and my Dolphins fandom are really hurting me right now because I don't know how to get excited.
No, I'd be like, dude, these guys are going to lose in the conference finals. I'm going to be all juiced up, like, and then they're going to look like, oh my God, this is the problem all year. It's like the Rangers.
Yeah, I was just about to say that because what you're saying, by the way, we're talking to resident hockey expert Rocky Romanella here. What you literally just said feels exactly like the New York Rangers for the last 5 years.
Here's the thing. Here's the interesting thing about the Rangers right now. Right now, you have the same, to me, there's 2 things happening. Negatively, you have a problem that is being highlighted, but it's been the same problem for the last 3 years.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
That is number 1, and I'll explain that in a second. Number 2, no panic, because guess what? +1 goal differential.
Someone said that to me the other day. They were like, you know why the Rangers are going to be there long term? Because they still have the best goaltending and possibly best defense in the league.
They have never been this good at 5-on-5 defense in the last span of them being relevant.
Like this iteration of this team.
This iteration of the team that changes their coach every 2 years, but has the exact same core players.
Same records.
Same core players, same line combinations, same guys on the power play, same guys in goal, right? Has never been good at this 5-on-5 defense. So that is what's keeping me positive.
Yeah.
Right? That's there. That's there. Now, let's talk about the underlying problem that has been lingering, and that is, how do I get Mika Zibanejad and Artemi Panarin in a different set of circumstances to bring out their talent? How do I get my young group in Alexis Lafreniere to actually... Now, I drafted Alexis Lafreniere first overall. We saw greatness twice from him. Once when he was on the kid line in the playoffs. You got rid of Hedel. You got rid of Capo Caco. The second time we saw greatness was when he was on the best line in the NHL, when he played alongside Trocheck and Panarin. But that has never been the same. The last time Mika Zibanejad had a stalwart season was when David Quinn was the head coach. And now he's the assistant running the power play, which has looked god-awful. Yet the power play 1 is still on the ice for 1:45. They still can't score. They look exactly the same as they did when they were leading the league. Everyone knows what they're going to do. It's like you've got to figure out a way to mix and match these lines to get these guys to score goals on 5-on-5.
The only thing that feels different is Chris Kreider's not here.
He's got 5 goals in 5 games.
I was waiting.
By the way, but the thing that people miss, I don't know what line he's playing. I need to know what line he's playing on because 3 of his 5 are on the power play.
Okay. Well, that's been his MO his whole career, but we won't go that far off the rails here. I was just looking at their stats and thinking about what we were kind of just talking about with the Devils. Do you feel that way about the Rangers' firepower? Or like, do you think they don't have it, or is it merely just what you talked about? Like, if we change these mind combinations.
Where's Gabe Perreault? Why is Gabe Perreault playing in Hartford? Why am I watching Connor Sheary, who played an entire season in the AHL last year, and Carson Soucy, who, I'm excited for Carson Soucy. Why are those guys playing in the top 6? Why is Gabe Perreault not playing in the NHL alongside these guys right now when I'm watching Nick Leonard play top 6 minutes in Washington? I'm watching 18-year-old Schaefer play in the Islanders.
Yeah.
The laundry list of Calder Trophy finalists as a youthful NHL is they got 10 guys who are like, dude, these guys are all good. They're spread across the league, all in their first year. Why is Gabe Perreault not in the NHL right now?
Yeah, it's a great point.
It makes no sense.
And just so you are aware, just so our resident Long Island people don't get mad at you, it's on Long Island, not in Long Island. Just want to make
you know what? Yeah, my bad. You know what? My bad. You know what? It's at this point you should just ratify yourself at your own state.
All right. So you know what I'm doing? I'm popping some theme music on, and we are going right into Rock Solid, Rock Soft, because I feel like Rocky's energy right now has the questions on my piece of paper for him to answer. So we are going to start where we finished. Rocky, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Rock solid, rock soft. The Rangers' inability to score goals long term, not now, through an 82 game season.
Soft.
Rock solid. Really? So you think it stays like this?
No, I think it changes.
Okay. I asked the question wrong.
I'm soft on long term no goals. I'm hard on they're going to learn how to score. There's talent, right? And by the way, you're going to tell me these goaltenders are going to stand on their head every game?
Every game?
I mean, Charlie Lindgren beat the Rangers. The Caps didn't beat the Rangers.
Yeah, that's a good point out of you. That's a great point. All right, we continue. Let's go the opposite way. Rock solid, rock soft. The Tampa Bay Lightning are this bad.
Soft.
Yeah.
I think the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to be good.
You just think it's one of those things where they're hung over from essentially going to the Cup each of the last 2 years or 2 of the last 3 years?
I will, for as long as Nikita Kucherov is off to a bad start. So
he's my guy.
Nikita Kucherov off to a bad start.
That's my guy.
One of, by the way, Kucherov, Draisaitl, McDavid, all slow starts.
Yeah.
Right? Both of those teams struggling. Both of those teams, if they're not in the playoffs and in the mix at the end of the year, I'd be shocked. So I'm soft on it.
I'd be shocked. And by the way, they both went to the Stanley Cup last year. Rocky, you answered the Devils one, so we're going to skip through it. Rock solid, rock soft on the Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, I'm hard on the Red Wings.
Yeah?
Hard on the Wings. It's time. 6 years of Steve Yzerman. The Wings, look out for the Wings for a long time. Look out for the Wings for a long time. The Tampa Bay Lightning are still relevant because of what Steve Yzerman did to that team. They won 2 cups. They were in it for a third. They were in the mix again long term. I'm telling you, look out for the Wings to be back to who they were our entire childhood.
Bonus rock solid, rock soft. Is Steve Yzerman the next what's his name that did the Devils and the Islanders and the Leafs?
It's
Lou Lamoriello.
He literally has a track. He's been a GM for 2 organizations. He rebuilt the Lightning, and he is seemingly very systematically rebuilding the Wings. How can you not say that this guy's not one of the best GMs ever?
Yeah, if I'm my organization and we need a GM, I want Steve Yzerman. 2 more, Rocky. Okay, rock solid, rock soft. The Utah Mammoth mascot.
Dude, I'm hard on tusks up, soft up. Right. Wish it was a Yeti though.
Yeah.
So love the tusks up because that's fun. You can get behind that.
Yeah.
I can get behind tusks. Yeah. Right. I like horns. Yeah. But they're curved.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know the motion yet, right? Because it's not a fin.
No,
It's a
no.
tusk.
It's a horn.
In hockey, everyone calls a beanie a toque.
Okay.
So there's a great play there.
Yeah.
Utah Mammoth, like it's just going to be the Willie Mammoth. Like I
Yeah,
just don't know how it's not.
I agree. I agree. By the way, if you want a random stat of the day, since introducing Tusky as their mascot, the Mammoth are 4-0. So
Dude, great. Dude, they really, I mean, for me, just the Yetis is funny. Like I
agree.
just, you know,
I
but,
agree. I couldn't
but
agree
I
more.
like Tusky, like Tusks Up, and like calling them the Willie Mammoth. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to be soft on it.
Really, they did a fantastic job. All right, Rocky, last one. Are you rock solid or rock soft on the Colorado Avalanche?
Oh, solid.
Yeah,
Gabriel
I am too.
Landeskog officially back. I was hard on the Avs last year.
You were. That's why I had to
and
ask.
Hard on the Avs last year. I like that core. I like Nathan McKinnon. I like Landeskog. I love Cale Makar. I actually, dude. By the way, is there a coach with better flow than Jared Bednar? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
That gray flow, and that guy's a stud.
Yeah.
Like he looks good on the bench. I would want that flow as for my coach for sure. I can get behind what that guy's saying. You want me to run the 1-2-2 in the neutral zone? I'm in, dude. What great flow.
That's so great. Rocky, 60 seconds on the show left here. We could do this together. We got Thursday night football tonight. Any thoughts on the Vikings taking on the Chargers?
Great matchup.
Right?
Great matchup. If it was last year, I would lean towards the Vikings, but I'm going to lean towards Justin Herbert and the Chargers tonight.
I agree with that. I agree with
like
that. Final thoughts before we get out of here.
2 races left. Joe Gibbs has two drivers in the final 4 in Hamlin and Briscoe. You got Christopher Bell in 3rd. Only 4 guys will make it to the final race in Phoenix. Hendricks, Team Penske, they each got 2 cars. Going to be a huge race in Martinsville. Classic NASCAR location. I've got the New York Giants. No panic on the Giants, right? Do not treat the Giants like they were supposed to win 10 games just because they played really well in Denver. By the way, what a special moment for Broncos fans when they put Demaryius Thomas in the Hall of Fame. Like, how is that not a special moment for them? By the way, and Broncos fans, like, why are you talking trash to the Giants? You have the best defense in the league, and you get into Twitter battles about the Giants like they're 5-0. Like, slow down, fan base. I can get behind you in your special moment, but don't be dumb, right? I'm hard on the Giants. Don't be worried about them. They are who they are. They're rookies. They're going to blow games like that. And shout out to the Fighting Blue Hens. Big W last night. Nick Miniucci, 276 for 4 touchdowns on prime time again.
I'm pretty positive he's a New Jersey native, Nick Miniucci or whatever his name is. I think he went to Bosco. I think he's a Don Bosco guy.
I think you're right about that.
Jersey Blue Hens.
Midnight
4-3 Blue Hens. 4-3.
Midnight Blacks for the Hens. Dude. Big game versus Liberty in 2 weeks.
Huge. Well, that is Rocky Romanella. How could you not love that segment? Rocky, thank you so much for your time today.
We definitely lit the lamp this morning.
Oh, we lit the lamp. Hold on. Yeah. Rock,
Nothing
have a great Thursday. That's Rocky Romanella. This has been the Rome Show. We're keeping the goal horn on through the goodbye. Thanks, everybody. We're back tomorrow. We'll see you later. Peace.
Are you thinking Tostitos Fiesta Bowl?